Now on CoastTV News.
On the campaign trail, Vice President Harris drumming up support in battleground states and sitting down for her first interview as a candidate for president.
A new home for a deserving dog, how this pup is getting its ever after.
Labor Day travel, how the busy weekend affects beach businesses, plus tell us your travel planning style in our CoastTV poll.
And a controlled burn gets out of control, the reminder from firefighters who were quick to respond here.
Tracking some rain moving into Delmarva that could linger into your Friday morning commute, plus an unsettled, warm, and muggy holiday weekend. The latest forecast is coming up.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Race for the White House with Election Day just over 2 months from now. The push is on. Good evening, I'm Charlie Sakaitis.
And I'm Mallory Metzner. Welcome to our News at 11. We begin tonight with presidential politics. Today, Vice President Kamala Harris sat down for her first interview since taking the top of the Democratic ticket.
She was joined by her running mate, Tim Walz, for a wide-ranging discussion. It comes as the race for the White House enters a critical phase and both campaigns are ramping up their efforts to reach voters.
NBC's Bree Jackson has the latest from Washington.
Vice President Kamala Harris and running mate Tim Walz in the hot seat during their first sit-down interview. The high-stakes discussion covering issues ranging from foreign policy to the economy.
One of my highest priorities is to do what we can to support and strengthen the middle class.
And the child tax credit is one we know that reduces childhood poverty by a third. We did it in Minnesota to have a federal partner in this. Unbelievable, I think, in the impact that we can make.
Harris facing pressure about her stance on issues appearing to shift since her 2020 presidential run.
My value around what we need to do to secure our border, that value has not changed. I spent 2 terms as the Attorney General of California prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, violations of American laws regarding the illegal passage of guns, drugs, and human beings across our border.
The vice president touting the accomplishments of the Biden-Harris administration and sharing details about the phone call where she learned the president was ending his re-election bid.
I asked him, "Are you sure?" And he said yes.
Since the 59-year-old moved to the top of the Democratic ticket, the presidential race has tightened. Former President Trump stumping in Michigan and Wisconsin, speaking to NBC News about a range of issues, including IVF.
We're going for all Americans that get it, all Americans that need it. So we're going to be paying for that treatment, or we're going to be mandating that the insurance company pay.
Trump slamming his political opponents during a campaign event.
She destroyed San Francisco. She destroyed California. And we're not going to let it destroy our country. I'll tell you, it's not going to happen.
Both campaigns making their case to voters with less than 10 weeks until Election Day. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
Back here at home, we have new video at 11 of a crash that happened in Milton just hours ago. Take a look at your screen. The call came in around 8:20 p.m. This is at Union Street Extension and Coastal Highway. Video from our Coast TV photographer shows the pickup truck and tractor trailer that were involved in the crash. The pickup is smashed in the front. You can't see in the video, but a stop sign was knocked over. We spoke to someone who heard the crash. He says he thinks DelDOT should reevaluate the intersection.
I believe that the tractor trailer was coming northbound and a pickup truck came across and ran right into it. Yes. And that, like I said, the way it's set up, you're supposed to merge, and it's plenty long enough, to merge. And a lot of people don't understand. I mean, if you don't go all the way to the end of the merge and then try to get out.
No word yet on any injuries. The crash was cleared after almost 2 hours.
Earlier this month, 20 dogs were rescued from a home in Bridgeville. 2 people were charged with multiple misdemeanor counts of animal cruelty, neglect, and other violations. But fantastic news tonight. 6 of those dogs have already been adopted, including Millie. Everybody take a look at Millie. The 5-year-old Boston Terrier now has a new home with Renee Raymond and her family, who are just thrilled to have this furry 4-legged friend as a member of their family.
She is adorable. She is very friendly and very sweet. She's a real cuddler, as you can see. Boom. There we go. Oh, I know, Bubby. She just wants to fit in. She wants to be part of the group, part of the family. So she watches what we do. She watches what Devin does all the time. Like coming out of work, she was afraid to go down the steps. And so Devin went out, and then she just followed him without even thinking about it.
And how adorable is this? One of the rescued dogs, Coca, has had a litter of puppies. So the good news is things are turning around for this group of pups.
Adorable. Excellent news for them. Taking a live look outside into Lewis, we're going to check on the weather now. Our first alert meteorologist, Chris Mastrobono, is here now with our weather. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening, Mallory. Yeah, we're beginning to see some showers move through the Delmarva Peninsula. We've been dealing with some fog over in Salisbury over the last few hours. Oftentimes, when you get that air temperature and the dew point kind of locking up, we begin to see that fog develop. Now, over the course of the next few hours, temperatures will hold steady, and we will see continued shower and storm threat through the overnight. Kind of spotty in nature as we speak, mostly over Kent and Sussex County. You can see some steadier rainfall making its way through Cambridge, right over the bay, some heavier pockets, all this kind of sinking southward, and you can see some more shower and thunderstorm activity sinking southward from central and southeastern Pennsylvania, diving down into the northern Delmarva. Highs today, in fact, these highs came just after midnight, and we fell into the 70s and remained steady in the 70s throughout most of the day. And you can see right now we're generally in the low 70s throughout much of the Delmarva Peninsula. So stepping outside tomorrow morning, grab the umbrella because we are going to see a few downpours early. Most of the afternoon will be dry, but we do talk about more storm chances over the weekend for the holidays, and we'll have the latest on your Labor Day forecast here in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Chris. Cars passing by and people lining the stores. That's going to be the scene this weekend on the coast. AAA says to avoid peak travel time, which is from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. tomorrow. As Coast TV News reporter Brandon Ferguson reports, business owners are going to love this weekend, but people who live here on the coast, that's a different story. Travel experts are predicting lots of cars on the road and planes in the sky. AAA is expecting a 9% increase in Labor Day travel compared to last year. Drivers are finding gas prices much cheaper than 1 year ago. Delaware gas average of $3.18 is nearly 50 cents cheaper than this time last year. Today and tomorrow, along with Labor Day Monday, are expected to be the busiest days on the road.
And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, how early do you tend to make your actual travel plans? Let's take a look at the results.
On the screen here, it looks like the majority say they don't make any plans at all. That's at 51%. But in second place, a distant second place, people are planning months out.
Months out, yeah, that's probably the best way to do it if you want to get everything done in time. I'm more of a late planner, though. If you haven't voted yet, you can still do that at CoastTVnews.com or use our Coast TV mobile app. New at 11, we have a reminder from the Indian River Volunteer Fire Company about the Delaware burn ban. Take a look. The agency says firefighters had to fully extinguish what was to be an inappropriate control burn. This happened on William Drive in the William Ritter Manor. In addition to fire suppression, the emergency response crews also provided education on the Delaware burn ban.
Right now, Delaware State Police are looking for the shooter from a road rage incident in Lincoln. Troopers say it happened Wednesday morning on Isaacs Road near Cedar Creek Road. The suspect was driving a pickup truck, and the driver they shot at was not hurt.
2 teens have been arrested for repeat burglaries along Long Neck in Long Neck businesses. Delaware State Police says a gate was damaged at a Poppy's Produce on August 17th, and items had been taken from the refrigerator. Troopers say 2 more burglaries were reported this month. A 13-year-old and 15-year-old, both from Millsboro, turned themselves in. They were charged and released on their own, or to their guardians rather. Detectives are working to identify other suspects.
It was over a week ago on August 18th that ocean waves broke through a dune on the north side of the Indian River Inlet Bridge. Right now, a local chapter of beach activism group, the Surfrider Foundation, is calling on Delaware officials to address the hazardous conditions there. The Surfrider Foundation says with the fall hurricane and winter storm season approaching, it fears the erosion will only get worse if the conditions are not addressed. The weak dune system has caused flooding on Route 1, which severely affects travel, and if this becomes a frequent problem, Surfrider says it could impact tourism and how people get to and from work. Dunes are the coast town's first line of defense from flooding.
On a good day here, when the beach is in good shape, you'll have 100 surfers in the water. There are campgrounds nearby, so there's a lot of campers and fishermen that use the beach. Everyone who cherishes this spot is being impacted by the erosion, and when conditions were better, this was an incredibly popular spot to go to.
Surfrider is asking that the meeting be announced in advance and held on a weekday evening and located near the Indian River Inlet. They also suggest it be streamed online.
Riding a bike is supposed to be fun, enjoyable, a good experience. But in Worcester County, some places have cyclists uncomfortably close to cars that are driving by. That's why Worcester County Public Works officials are looking to add more lanes in the area. They recently completed a bicycle pedestrian path study that proposes the development of a hiking and biking trail on Route 611 from Route 50 to Assateague State Park. But one local says this road already has enough space.
This is actually one of the better roads, or probably the best. I mean, because they've got, for the most part, you've got a full lane anyway, and on the other side you've got at least a decent lane. So it's good. It's probably not the best, but it's certainly better than back roads.
That is some kind of wild ride there. Worcester County looking for public input on the proposed new path before moving forward.
DenRec has a new grant to help low-income households make home energy improvements. U.S. Senators Tom Carper and Chris Coons and Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester announced the $1.5 million grant today. Carper says extreme heat and weather and climate change disproportionately affects families in low-income communities. The lawmakers say expensive fossil fuel burning systems will be replaced with electric heat pumps, and they'll be integrated with solar power. This statewide initiative aims to reduce carbon dioxide emissions and improve the health, safety, and comfort of the homes.
We have more news to get to tonight.
The new cash infusion that's on the way to start the process of rebuilding the collapsed bridge in Baltimore.
But first, coming up, a sweet treat that is changing lives in the nation's summer capital. That's the subject of our new series, Coastal Connections.
And it will be an unsettled 3-day stretch as we push into the holiday weekend across the bay, but it will be a mild and muggy weekend. Not a complete washout, but there is some good news in that extended forecast, and I think you'll like it coming up. We'll show it to you in a little bit.
In Delaware, a family earning $67,000 a year pays the same tax rate as one making $67 million. I'm Matt Meyer, and you don't have to be a former math teacher to know that's an outrage. As governor, I'll make the super wealthy pay more in taxes so working people can pay less. By making state taxes more fair, we'll help more families get ahead. It's not just smart math, it's the right thing to do.
Democrat Matt Meyer for governor.
Chevy lets you begin every day fully charged, so you can go farther. And so can your money. Tow with confidence. Plus, stay connected with available OnStar technology. For summer adventures, Chevy's got you. Get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Trailblazer models. Or get $500 total cash allowance on this Trailblazer. See your Delmarva Chevy dealers.
Ice cream is a summer staple along the coast. And did you know the newest shop in Rehoboth Beach is raising money for a great cause and changing lives with every single scoop? That is the subject of this Coastal Connections.
Connor Watson is the first employee on shift at Uncle David's Ice Cream.
Give me a smile.
The store is named after David Sampson, the brother-in-law of Dennis Deal and brother of Dennis's wife, Sharon Lee.
He was my inspiration. He was just a sweet and gentle person.
Like Connor, David had Down syndrome, and so do the employees at Rehoboth's newest ice cream shop who work alongside support staff.
Our point is to raise awareness for people with Down syndrome, and here we're putting them front and center where people can see them working and how good they are.
Awesome! Everything in this store is set up to help those with Down syndrome succeed. Take a look here. There are corresponding numbers to each ice cream flavor. That's because managers tell me numbers are typically easier for those with Down syndrome to work with.
On that same note, Uncle David's deals with dollars, not change, and is a walk-up window only for safety.
Number 22.
It's a legacy for a beloved brother
Dennis.
And a future for people just like Connor.
This is going to be the happiest ice cream store in Rehoboth.
Scooping up opportunities on Rehoboth Avenue.
For Coastal Connections, I'm Madeline Overturf.
Coastal Connections is sponsored by Baths by Spicer Brothers.
Transform your bath today with Baths by Spicer Brothers.
Call now and ask about our Refresh for Less promotion and get a new bath or shower for only $69.95. Plus, get 20% off all upgrades.
Imagine stepping into a beautifully renovated bath designed by our experts and installed by our certified professionals.
This offer is hotter than a sauna and won't last forever. So don't miss out on our Refresh for Less promotion for just $69.95 with 20% off all upgrades.
Before you sign, keep Baths by Spicer Brothers in mind, because you deserve the best.
The Car Store's Labor Day sale going on now through Saturday. Save big with best in market pricing. Get more for your trade. Plus, enjoy the added protection and value of the Car Store's certified Advantage. Don't miss the Car Store's Labor Day sale going on now. TheCarStoreOnline.com.
Get ready. MediaCom is now
mobile?
Well, not just mobile, but a 5G mobile network with reliability you can count on.
Really?
Just check out this map. Coast-to-coast coverage, plus hundreds of free extreme hotspots. It's an unbeatable network, and we've got some unbeatable prices, too.
But I love this phone.
Easy. Keep your phone when you switch. And guess what? You'll love it even more. MediaCom Mobile. Learn more today.
Hey moms, you know those unforgettable face palms? Those moments that leave us both laughing and sighing. They're not just mishaps, there are shared stories. Share your unique mom moments with us. Go to coastlife.com/mom.
I'm Drew. I know. We're built for this.
New magic begins Monday, September 9th.
Labor Day weekend. Time to celebrate the hard-working American during the Truck Store's Labor Day sale. Find the truck you want so you can do more, play more, and get more during the Labor Day sale. Going on now. MyTruckStoreOnline.com.
Good Thursday evening, Delmarva. We had quite a gloomy day. We had some breezy conditions. Currently in Lewis, it is 71 degrees. Winds are relatively calm. We are beginning to see some showers roll through the area, and we're going to continue to see showers, a rumble of thunder through the overnight. Temperature should relatively stay steady through the overnight time frame. Small craft advisory continues through 6 a.m. tomorrow. There's the showers beginning to develop across portions of Kent and Sussex County. Most of this is spotty in nature, more consolidated, extending from Cambridge right over the bay into Prince Frederick. But you can see a lot of the heavier rain off to our southwest. We're in a bit more of a stable atmosphere on the other side of this front, the stalled out front. We've been on the cooler side. On the other side of that front, much more humid, and they were actually in the 90s today. We had kind of a role reversal day. We hit our high just after midnight, 82, and we hit our low at 7:54 this evening. So we saw temperatures stay relatively steady in the mid to upper 70s throughout most of the afternoon, all thanks to that easterly wind. Right now, we have 71 Rehoboth Beach, 72 Bethany, 73 Salisbury, where we're dealing with a little bit of fog there. But you see those winds continuing out of the east. Dew points, well, it's still rather sticky out there in the 70s. Now, we will see the showers overnight. Downpours, a rumble of thunder could be greening us early Friday morning. The weekend itself, not a complete washout, but it is trending warmer and muggy. And then our Labor Day looking absolutely fantastic. So 69 overnight, scattered downpours, relatively cloudy. We could see some areas of fog develop. More clouds than sun for your Friday afternoon. Can't rule out an isolated storm in the afternoon, but I think most of us are going to be dry in the afternoon, especially if we see some showers early in the morning. According to our model here, we could be dealing with some heavy rain between about 5 and 6 o'clock, pushing through the coast around 7. So a wet start to our Friday, but we are trending drier into the afternoon, still dealing with that easterly wind. Now, warm front's going to lift through on Saturday, so warmer, muggier. We are in the mid to upper 80s inland, 70s at the coast, and we are pushing 90 in some of our inland locations by Sunday. We are going to be dealing with multiple rounds of shower and thunderstorm activity because of a few fronts that we're going to be dealing with. The main front comes through Sunday night, and behind that, we see refreshing air, northerly winds, and clear skies. Keep in mind, we do have a moderate risk of rip currents heading into the holiday weekend, waves anywhere between 2 to 3 feet, showers and storms. Saturday is trending relatively drier. I think we do see some showers and storms late in the day, and we are going to see the mugginess end by your Labor Day, which is a great sign as we welcome in some fall-like air. And an early look at that Labor Day forecast shows sunny skies and beautiful conditions, 80 degrees, and there's that temperature outlook next week. A taste of fall moves in as we begin the first full week of September. Keeping an eye on the tropics, we have some activity developing over the next few days, so the tropics are going to be heating up here, and congratulations to our winner, Diana Wiggs of Selbyville, Delaware. And there's your Paul Davis 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Chris. The Maryland Transportation Authority Board has approved a $73 million contract to kick off the rebuild of the collapsed Francis Scott Key Bridge. The design contract was awarded to Queet Infrastructure, a leading construction and engineering firm. This marks the start of Phase 1, focusing on pre-construction services, design, expected to take about 12 months. Phase 2 set to follow shortly after.
Here's something you saw first on the CoastTV News app. A woman is facing criminal and traffic charges following a months-long investigation into a Bay Bridge crash in January. Police say Gwendolyn Persina of Chester was driving a blue Honda Civic at high speeds, leading to a 23-car pileup on the westbound side of the bridge. One person suffered life-threatening injuries and several others were hurt. Authorities have now charged Persina with driving under the influence, driving on a suspended license, and other offenses. She was taken into custody yesterday and is being held at the Queen Anne's County Detention Center. Coming up soon, the Shore Living Expo. This event celebrates health, wealth, and home on Delmarva. You can visit a variety of businesses along the coast that show just what the peninsula has to offer. As you can see on your screen, this event takes place September 7th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Coming up in sports, football was back in action tonight on the peninsula, and it's time to look ahead to the first Football Friday of the year, which is tomorrow.
Plus, summer heat and pesky mosquitoes. What you need to know about West Nile virus so you can reduce your risk of contracting it.
And we will see a few raindrops in the morning tomorrow. The afternoon trending drier, not the greatest golf day. I think maybe hold off till Saturday afternoon, but it will be quite on the cool side, 77 degrees. We'll have a look at that 10-day forecast here in a few minutes.
There's DNA. Then there's heavy-duty DNA. HDNA. It's engineered into every aspect of the GMC Sierra HD. With the pulling power to prove it. Tow hitches of the world, prepare for glory. Get 5.9% APR for 84 months on Sierra heavy-duty Denali models. That's almost $7,000 in average finance savings.
When MAGA extremists took away our rights,
Kyle Evans-Gay took action.
Kyle fought for her daughters and ours in the state Senate, delivering the strongest abortion protections in Delaware history.
She took on the NRA to ban assault weapons and protect our communities.
Led on securing our vote and our democracy.
I'm Kyle Evans-Gay, and I'm running for lieutenant governor because a new generation will champion reproductive freedom and fight for our families. Let's do this, Delaware.
At Toyota's national sales event, we've got a long lineup of vehicles for summer fun, like Camry, RAV4, Highlander, BZ4X, Tundra, Corolla Hybrid, Tacoma, Sienna, Corolla Hatchback, Sequoia, Prius Prime, RAV4 Hybrid, Land Cruiser, GR Supra, Toyota Crown, 4...
Right now, get a new 4Runner with 4.99 APR financing for 60 months. Or check out the legendary new 24 Land Cruiser.
Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
A wet crawl space is a lurking hazard, inviting mold, rot, and structural worries. The answer is Brazier's Crawl Space Encapsulation. Our specialist tailors the solution to your exact crawl space. Our expert team cleans and upgrades your crawl space into a pristine, protected environment, and we only use April Air dehumidifiers, reliable and robust, complete with a 5-year warranty. Take the first step to a drier, safer home. Call Brazier's or visit our website. Your peace of mind is just one call away.
Celebrate Labor Day with huge savings at Preston Ford. Get $12,000 of savings off MSRP on select 2023 Ford F-150s. Save $9,000 off MSRP on a new 2023 Ford Bronco Badlands. These are just some of the deals. Explore a huge inventory online at PrestonFord.com. With over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles on the lot, we're sure to have the perfect vehicle for you. Labor Day weekend is the best time to upgrade your ride at Preston Ford. Cars cost less in Preston.
It's that time of year when the temperature is high and mosquitoes are more active. The insects are more than just a nuisance. They can also spread disease. The U.S. is already seeing cases of West Nile virus. In tonight's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has what to know about West Nile virus and how to reduce your risk of contracting it.
In the U.S., West Nile activity struck earlier than usual, and more cases of the mosquito-borne illness are expected to come, with the bulk of cases typically reported in August and September.
So usually the mosquito will bite an infected bird, will acquire the virus, it stays in their belly, and when they bite you, that's when it can be transmitted to humans.
Dr. Lizette Cardona with Cleveland Clinic says the disease is rare. So far this year, there have been 289 reported human cases of West Nile virus in 33 U.S. states. 195 of those infections were the more severe form of the disease, which invades the brain and nervous system. That form can lead to brain swelling, brain damage, even death. But most cases are mild. Symptoms can include fever, headache, body aches, vomiting, diarrhea, or rash. Since there are no vaccines or medicines for West Nile, the CDC says the best way to prevent the virus is to protect against mosquito bites. Use EPA-registered insect repellents, wear loose-fitting long-sleeved shirts and pants, treat clothing and gear with permethrin, and take steps to control mosquitoes by doing things like getting rid of standing water on your property.
Although there is no treatment, we can give supportive attention. If you need fluids, be observed and monitored closely in a healthcare facility if needed.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, former director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, was recently hospitalized with West Nile virus after reportedly having a high fever. He's home now and expected to fully recover.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Football is back on Delmarva this week, and we have tons of games to cover for you from the Bayside to the Henlopen. Here's a look at some of the excitement you can expect all season long.
Yeah, we getting all fired up, getting ready for the players when they line up. Think it's time we go and get them lights up. Let them high school lights ignite us. Cause we fighters, coming with a hut like this. Coming with a pick six like that. Gonna be a showdown so big. Think it's time for football night to impact. High school football is everything. Hey, hey, let's go. For the win, for the gold, for the crown, the ring. High school football is everything.
It's time to look ahead to tomorrow for our first football game of the night of the season. We'll have Delmar football season opener at John Dickinson High School tomorrow at 6 p.m. The Wildcats are coming off a 6-4 season that ended just short of a playoff berth, and they are familiar with the Rams knocking off John Dickinson in last year's opener. And the Smyrna Eagles open their season in Pennsylvania against Downingtown West. The Eagles are coming off a 4-6 season that ended in a heartbreaking 41-40 loss to Salesianum in the state playoffs. Their revenge tour begins tomorrow. Our coverage begins at 4:30 p.m. on Friday with our 1-hour down and distance preseason special where we'll preview this fall's football season. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night, everyone.
Did you have a rough week? How about you cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news? It comes from Coast TV. We've got personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up for free. It's at coasttv.com/sign up, and that's where you can get that weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Playful pups in the pool. Stay tuned for how your dog can get in on the summer fun next week when Coast TV News at 11 returns.
The UV Index Weather Report is sponsored by Ocean City Tourism. Somewhere to smile about.
This is the GMC Sierra, powered by the TurboMax engine, with the confidence of 430 pound-feet of best-in-class standard torque. GMC Sierra, it's the truck. Get 1.9% APR on select 2024 Sierra 1500 models, or get $4,000 purchase cash on this Sierra. We are professional grade GMC.
Pulling up to a great-looking home is nice. Curb appeal is important. But here on the coast, even more important is dock appeal. At T&G Builders, if you can dream it, we can create it. For uncompromising quality, contact T&G Builders to design and build your coastal dream home. Over 30 years of integrity, empathy, and love. T&G Builders, the sign of quality. Visit us online at tg-builders.com.
Marty Rendon is ready. Building on his legislative work in Congress and UNICEF, Marty chairs the Legislative Committee of our Delaware Human and Civil Rights Commission, and he knows how to unpack the issues that matter most to you: traffic, healthcare, education, overdevelopment, and more. Marty's ready to fight for his neighbors in the greater Lewis, Rehoboth, and Dewey Beach communities.
The only baggage I carry is yours.
Vote Marty Rendon on September 10th.
It's the Chevy Summer Drive at IG Burton Chevrolet. Right now, take home a Silverado with up to $10,000 off, or get 1.9% financing with no payments up to 90 days. Plus, discover huge savings and great lease payments across our entire lineup, like $249 a month on the Chevy Trax or $299 a month on the Equinox. Details at igburton.com or any IG Burton Chevrolet location in Melford, Seaford, Lewis, or Berlin. Nobody beats a Burton deal. Nobody.
Sometimes it takes a different approach to see the possibilities all around you.
Thanks. Thank you for coming together.
With Capella University's game-changing FlexPath format, take courses on your own terms and apply the skills you learn right away. Imagine your future differently with Capella University.
Puppies will be in the pool at the Killens Pond Water Park for the annual event on Labor Day Monday. Here's a flashback from photos from previous years. The event runs from 4 to 6 p.m. Owners should bring proof of dog license and current vaccinations.
Well, we're beginning to see some showers move into the Delmarva Peninsula, generally scattered across portions of Kent and Sussex County. Some steadier rain now pushing over the bay, some heavier pockets. Not expecting any severe weather, but all of this moisture is continuing to sink southward, so expecting a damp start to our Friday. So grab the umbrellas. We're off to school tomorrow. Isolated downpours early. The afternoon is trending a bit more drier, but we will have temperatures around 77, so still seeing those below average temperatures. It will be on the muggy side, more clouds than sun, but we will see that warm front move through over the weekend, and that will allow temperatures to climb back into the mid to upper 80s. Now, the UV index is a 3 tomorrow because of the cloud cover, but we are going to be in that high level throughout the holiday weekend, so keep that in mind when spending time outdoors. And you can get your forecast at any time by calling our weather phone. Now, the holiday weekend will be unsettled, 84, 87 Sunday, but your Labor Day looking spectacular, guys, looking like a good end to the Labor Day weekend.
See that? Thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 11. For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next. We'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.